Disoriented, James rubbed the sleep out of his eyes and yawned. How long had he slept for? With effort, he turned himself around so that he could look at the countdown displayed as big, digital letters on the room's wall, without actually having to get up. YYYD read. He had slept for nearly 10 Earth hours, and he was still tired. So he slumped back down on the bed and just let his face sink into the sheets. His warm breath spread through the fabric, warming his face with each rising and sinking of his chest. The darkness cast by his own head was soothing his weary mind. Yet, slowly but surely, the excitement did begin to catch up to him. After all, it was only about half a day left until what was essentially his new life would begin. And yet he had not yet met any of the people he would be spending it with. This was it, the real beginning. After years of training, simulations, and endless medical checks, he was finally here, on the cusp of something extraordinary. The initial disorientation was fading, replaced by a nervous energy that buzzed just beneath his skin. He wondered what his new crewmates would be like. Would they be as nervous as he was? Or would they be seasoned veterans, used to the strange rhythms of deep space travel? He pressed himself up from the mattress and jumped off the bed, his bare feet making a soft sound on the cool floor. He looked around the room. Nothing had changed, apart from the ever-lowering numbers on his wall. The room was Spartan, functional, designed for temporary occupation. A bed, a small sanitation unit, and the countdown clock. That was it. Everything he owned was stored away, waiting for him to be assigned his permanent quarters. With mild curiosity, he crept towards the only door leading in and out of the room. He pressed his head against the single window that was placed slightly above, his eye height in order to look out into the hall positioned right in front of it. He didn't expect anybody to be there, and at first he thought his suspicions had been correct. The hallway was empty, bathed in the same neutral, constant light as his room. It stretched out in both directions, a sterile corridor on a ship full of strangers. But then he spotted a small figure in his peripheral vision. Focusing on it, he saw a person about 2/3 larger than him, and extremely thin. A white, bib-like identifier hung loosely around their neck, which clearly identified them as a crew member belonging to the medical team. Apart from that, they were, for lack of a better word, naked, with the exception of the tiny bracelet-like device wrapped around one of their hands. It was the standard-issue personal assistant everyone on board would use for communication and for keeping track of time on the ever-lit, cycle-less ship. Their body was covered in colorful feathers which showed mostly tones of blue and indigo scales that shimmered under the artificial light. They had a long, graceful neck and a whip-thin tail that swished gently as they moved. Their 4 slender limbs each ended in 6 long, clawed fingers. Their face ended in an elongated beak, and their large, dark eyes faced sideways, giving them a panoramic view of their surroundings. This was his first real encounter with an alien, a true non-human being. The simulations had prepared him for the concept, but the reality was breathtaking. The creature moved with a fluid grace that was utterly alien, their movements precise and deliberate. It was beautiful, in a strange, otherworldly way. He watched, mesmerized, as the medical officer went about their duties, completely unaware of the human watching them from the observation window. This was his new world. A world of feathers and scales, of long necks and beaked faces. And he was just a simple human, a Deathworlder, about to find his place among the stars. The countdown on the wall didn't seem so daunting anymore. It felt like a promise. Thanks for tuning in for this chapter. If you enjoyed this glimpse into James's new life, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next part of the story. Drop a comment below and let me know what you think will happen next. See you in the next video.